It is a sad day for music, as the Queen of Soul has passed on. Aretha Franklin has passed away at the age of 76 from pancreatic cancer. It was first reported back on Monday that she was hospitalized in Michigan, and as soon as the news broke at 9:30 this morning, it was confirmed that she passed on. So we're going to read this article from the Detroit musician who transformed millions of lives. And at the end of this video, I have to make a very shocking and point about what today also means for music as well. So let's read on. Aretha Franklin, whose impassioned, riveting voice made her a titan of American music, passed away. Her niece Sabrina Owens confirmed to the Detroit Free Press. She was 76. She died at exactly 9:50 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time on August 16, 2018, surrounded by her family at her home in Detroit. A family statement released by her publicist Gwendolyn Quinn said Franklin's official cause of death was due to the advance of pancreatic cancer of the neuroendocrine type, which was confirmed by her oncologist, Dr. Philip Phillips of Criminals Cancer Institute in Detroit. The family added, "In one of the most darkest moments of our lives, we are not able to find the appropriate words to express the pain in our heart. We have lost the matriarch and the rock of our family." Franklin was the loftiest name in the rich history of Detroit music and one of the transcendent cultural figures of the 20th century. Raised on an electric musical diet of gospel, classic, R&B, classic, and jazz, she blossomed out of her father's Detroit church to become one of the most distinguished black artists of all time, breaking boundaries while placing nearly 100 hits on Billboard's R&B charts, 20 of them reaching number one, and not to mention her music also transcended into the 1980s culture, as she had two big hits, "Jump to It," and of course the Freeway song. I forget the name of it, but it was a very popular song in the 80s, and of course she did a music video, and she was very popular for 3 decades pretty much. 60s, 70s, she did have some hits in the 70s, of course, and of course the 1980s. And as you can see, here's a photo gallery. So pretty much, here's her 1960s catalog. If you have not heard the Respect song in your lifetime, you really missed out on some amazing music. You Make Me Feel, Chain of Fools, Angel, Think, Rocksteady, Bridge Over Troubled Water, and Freeway of Love. That's the name of the song. That's the one she did in 1985, because that was part of her catalog. Jump to It was released in 1982, so I am correct. If I get that wrong, I'm sorry, everyone. Her death followed several years of painstakingly concealed medical issues, which led to regular show cancellations and extended absences from the public eye. Okay. I'm not really going to read further more into it, but this is the most important thing about her career. She was the first ever female artist inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1987. And at age 52, she was the youngest recipient of a Kennedy Center honor. Franklin topped Rolling Stone magazine's 100 greatest singers of all time, and her signature hit "Respect" ranked number 4 on Songs of the Century. So obviously, when you think of the 20th century, you think of her, because she obviously was an icon of the 20th century. So I really don't want to go further into it more. It's a really in-depth article, but I can understand why they're going in-depth, but I have to show you something very shocking today on why today is also very important. I was shocked to even, as I was researching this today, I found out that today is also the anniversary of Elvis Presley's death. As you can see here, August 6, 1970. Let me make sure we can highlight this. I apologize, everyone. Today is August 16th. Today marks exactly 41 years since we lost the king of rock and roll, and today we lose the king of soul music. It's really awful how 41 years apart we lose Elvis Presley and we lose Aretha Franklin. You can't make stuff up. So I wanted to go back to an article that was here. We're going to go back to it in just a second. Apparently this was an article that was from yesterday, and apparently, we will load it in just a second. Apparently, all-star concert scheduled for Madison Square Garden in tribute of her. So we will read this. Aretha Franklin will take place this November at Madison Square Garden, first reported by Billboard.com. Franklin herself has played multiple concerts at the iconic New York venue. According to Billboard, Franklin's longtime friend and executive producer, Clive Davis, is spearheading into the effort. He previously produced every one of her studio albums between 1980 and 2003. So let me just close this one. I apologize, everyone. The concert will reportedly feature an all-star cast, though no lineup has been released yet, and it is tentatively titled Clive Davis Presents a Tribute to Aretha Franklin. So pretty much this was planned out before she passed on. And I'll quickly mention this to everybody. We'll go back to the original article that I wanted to go back to. I actually had the pleasure myself of seeing Aretha Franklin perform at the Westbury Music Fair. It was an honor to have her perform in Long Island, and even though she went old school, I gave her credit for that at the time of using a wireless microphone. She was still amazing that night. I believe this was back in 2012 or 2013. I don't remember when I saw her, but I did see her definitely in this decade of the 2010s, and she looked fantastic even at her age, and honestly, just hearing her sing was phenomenal that night. She went old school. She knew what she was doing that night, and obviously, for a respected musician, I'm speaking firsthand that she knew how to always entertain the crowd. That was her passion in life. She always knew how to target the right audience. Every demographic you can think of. Especially how, again, the Freeway to Love song was a very popular song in the 1980s. Now, if you don't know that song, it was, of course, a very popular element to the music scene back in the 1980s. It was, of course, a song that was always played at parties. Young people back then, they loved that song. Every demographic. It was an amazing song. Jump to It was sort of an underrated song, but most people will definitely remember her from her earlier career from the 1960s. But yes, I was blessed to see her at the Westbury Music Fair, and Aretha is one of those musicians like Elvis Presley that will never hear another unique element to their music ever again, because you have Elvis Presley, you have Aretha Franklin, and comparing them both, they had incredible resumes. And to hear that 41 years apart this happens, it's just awful to even think about. But Aretha Franklin, an amazing musician, I'm sure up in heaven right now, they're looking over her because she pretty much did so many good things for humankind, entertaining us for so many years, and she tried performing all her concerts before she passed on, but she just couldn't do it. And we'll never have another musician like her again. So Aretha Franklin, thank you for all the music you've given us over the years. And unrelated note, I'm sure today at Graceland, Maybe they'll mention Aretha Franklin has passed on. I don't know if they will, but if they don't, it's a big shame if they don't, because literally her and Elvis passing away on the same day is just even shocking to think about. So, that's it. Thank you for watching this video. Until the next one, take care.